Hey, what's up YouTube? In this video, I'll be showing you how to make a suburban style house. It feels so weird, me saying that, because I haven't made a house that's actually based in reality for quite some time. I'd almost forgotten how to make these things. Hopefully you guys like this. I really love this suburban house. It's quite easy to make as well. And you know what? I really want to try and design an interior and an exterior for this house, the inside and outside of it. I think that I could do a really good job of it. Let me know whether you guys would be interested in me doing that, and if you guys are, I'd be more than happy to do that for you. I can definitely make the outside look really cool, and I think that I could probably do a pretty decent job with the inside as well. Although it is a little bit small, it might be a bit of a challenge. Let me know down in the comments whether you like it. And could we get a thumbs up for me actually making another suburban house? You guys have been asking for quite a while that I actually make a proper house, and here we are. I think that we have a really good one this week. By the way, check out the card system, check out the description below. I'll be leaving links to loads of videos and playlists in there, including not only my real world building tutorial playlist, which is incredibly popular, but my suburban house tutorial playlist. If you like this style of house, I've made loads of kinds of houses that look exactly, well, not exactly like this one, but in a very similar style to this one. If you want to make this house though, here's what you're going to need. Grab yourself some block of quartz and some birchwood planks. You'll also need some quartz slabs, and you'll need some quartz stairs, and grab yourself some white stained glass block. I prefer using block these days instead of pane, but really it's kind of your choice. And we're also going to need some polished andesite. We'll also want to grab some stone brick stairs, and we will also need cobblestone stairs. And one last thing, we do also need some birch wood fence. And this should just about be it, but I have been wrong plenty of times, so we'll have to see. Once you have each one of these materials right here, and once you've figured out what you want to make it, I'll be making it right here, you're going to want to kick off your house with a row of 3 polished andesite coming directly up from the ground. That's 1, 2, 3. Then go right of that third polished andesite by 13. Actually, by 12. The entire row is 13, so go right of it by 12. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Then connect that 12th block down to the ground. What you then want to do is you want to take the back 2 corners of the shape that you've just made, the top back 2 corners, and you want to extend them backwards, each by 14. That'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and we want the same from the other side. I'm pretty confident that that first row of 14 is right, so what I'm going to do is just extend it back until it lines up. I'm going to then connect the row that I know is 14 all the way over to this side. Yep, perfect. Then I'm going to connect each one of those back corner blocks down to the ground. So we have this, and what we want to do with this is we want to fill it in, and the way that we're going to do it is the inside of the bottom part of this shape that we've made, we want to fill it in with cobblestone stairs. Did I mention that we were getting cobblestone stairs? I'm not entirely sure that I did. I must have done because we have them in the inventory, but we want to fill the bottom part of this in with cobblestone stairs, and we want to do upside down cobblestone stairs on top of the regular facing cobblestone stairs. So we kind of want to have a bit of, it's basically just a bit of a stilty house. It's sat on this little base here, and I think that it's kind of cool because this is also going to form the porch a little bit later on, and I think that adds a nice little contrast to what is usually just pretty much just like a very cream and very light wood house. So once you have that taken care of, we can now build the house on top of this base. What we want to do is on top of each one of the 4 corners, but we're only going to start with the top 2 corners, we want to, on top of the front 2 corners, we want to do rows of 7 block of quartz coming up. That'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And instead of counting out another row, what we can do is we can take the 7th block, drag it all the way over to the right hand side here, and we can connect it down to the other corner. So that saves us some counting. And what we can also do is we can take these top 2 7th blocks, these corner blocks, and we can drag them backwards because we know that those rows are 7. We can drag them backwards and we can connect them down to the back 2 corners, and we can just form kind of like this shape right here. It's kind of like a 3D, cubey, rectangular-y looking big giant box shape. like this. And what we then want to do is we want to, on top of the box shape that we've made, we want to go up on top of the corners each by 7 and connect them together again. So on top of this front left hand corner, we're going to go up by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then I'm going to take the 7th block and I'm going to drag it over to the right, as I did for the base of this house, the ground floor, and then I'm going to drag each one of the corners back. There's no point in counting out 7 4 individual times when we know that the first row of 7 is correct, and we can just take a look at it and you can see that it's correct. So we're just going to form the box shape that we have here. Now we have kind of like a double-decker box shape, and that's exactly what we want to have. That's kind of like the foundation of the house, and what we're now going to do is we're going to give this thing a roof, or we're going to give it the outline of the roof. So come to the front of your house. This is the front of my house, and on top of the top left-hand corner block, we want to find this block and we want to move right by 1, this block, place a quartz on top of it. Then we want to do 5 upper right diagonals with the quartz. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then we want to do bottom right diagonals until we hit the opposite side. And this is, like I said, going to be the outline for the roof. That's perfect. Do that on the front, do it on the back. On the back, of course, we can just copy off the front, but we start from 1 block inwards from either side. We then do 5 upward diagonals from whichever side you're coming from. So that'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 upright diagonals, and then of course we just want to do bottom right diagonals until we meet the opposite end of the house. So we want to have something which should look a little bit like this, and you can see that the outline of the house is getting made quite quickly and it's looking pretty good already. So what do we do next? I think it's probably about time for us to fill in the house a little bit. Filling in the house will definitely help us later on. So come to the very front of your house and come all the way down to the bottom left hand corner of the house. We want to be on top of this bottom left hand corner and inside, and going right we want to stack 4 birchwood planks. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. Then place a block of quartz and place 2 blocks of quartz on top of it. That's 1, 2. We then want to go right by 2, connect it down to the ground, and then if you please you can fill the next 4 andesite blocks in with birchwood planks. What we then want to do is this. So starting from on top of this most left-hand birchwood planks, we want to go from left to right, and we're going to do 1 birchwood plank, 2 block of quartz, 1 plank. Move through the door, and then we want to do 1 birchwood plank, 2 block of quartz, 1 birchwood plank. Then what we want to do, we want to, on top of the door where we have these 3 blocks, place 3 white stained glass with 3 block of quartz on top of them. And then on top of the 2 windows, which is what these block of quartz are, we want to do 2 rows of white stained glass followed by the same 1 block of quartz, or 1 layer of block of quartz. So on this of window, 2 layers of glass and 1 layer of block of quartz, and that should be even with the top of the door. That's kind of paramount to the symmetry of this house, and that's why it looks so good. So once you've got the front of the house taken care of, and there you go, that's the front of the house, you then want to, moving up to the second floor, because we may as well, move up to the second floor here, and we want to do a very similar thing, except we don't have a door on the second floor, as you might imagine, although you could definitely have a balcony. So on the second floor, going from left to right, on top of this block of quartz here, we want to, first of all, start off with a layer of birchwood planks. Actually, we just want to start off with a layer of birchwood planks. But after the layer of birchwood planks, going from left to right, on top of the planks, we want to do 1 plank, 2 quartz, 1 plank, 3 quartz, 1 plank, 2 quartz, 1 plank. So we want to have this pattern. And then on top of each one of those quartz, we want to stack 2 layers of glass block, followed by a layer of block of quartz, like that. And that is how the second floor is going to pan out. And all of these empty panels around the house, like the floors, they will later on be filled in with birchwood planks, but we'll do that later. And coming all the way up to the very tippy top of the house, this part right here, we want to fill in the bottom row of this triangular shape for the roof with birchwood planks. Then for the next row, going from left to right, we want to do 1 birchwood plank, then 5 block of quartz, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then on top of the quartz, going from left to right, 1 birchwood plank, 3 white stained glass, 1 plank. And then for this final row here, we want to do 1 birchwood plank, 1 glass, then 1 plank. And if you want, you can then just fill like the rest of that area in. And you know what, just to give a bit of an example, let me show you how this is all going to pan out. We'll do the entire front of the house, we'll add all of the bits and bobs that we were going to add to it, and then I'll show you how the rest of the house is going to go. Oh, we have to do the second floor as well. So just completely fill this level of the house in, the second level, the first level, the very top level, the the third floor. I'm not sure what that third floor is going to be. I might even give this thing an attic. Oh, we can't place a birchwood plank. So we want to have something which should look a little bit like that. We have all 3 levels of the house. And what we're going to do to the windows, and this is only the bottom of the windows, we want to do upside down quartz stairs coming from underneath the bottom of the windows. So the bottom layer of quartz, we just want to extend them out. We do not want to do it for the top layer of the window. And that's how the windows, and that's how each one of the floors of the house are going to look. This front part of the house looks a little bit weird because we don't have the decking, we don't have the overhang, and we don't have the roof. So it does look a bit weird, but it's going to look a lot better later, trust me. Once you've got the front of the house taken care of, you want to come all the way around to the back of the house. Because the back of the house is parallel to the first, we may as well do the same thing on the back. So on the back here, we want to do literally the exact same thing on the front, except for the back, bottom, middle window. We have a window instead of a door. So we want to start off with a layer of birchwood planks right at the bottom here. And then going from left to right, on top of the planks, we want to do 1 birchwood plank, 2 quartz, 1 birchwood, 3 quartz for the middle one, 1 birchwood plank, 2 block of quartz, 1 plank. And then on top of each one of the quartz, of course, we want to stack 2 rows of glass. And then on top of the glass, we want to stack a layer of block of quartz. And then, of course, if you want to, you can fill the area in. You can give all of the windows windowsills. That'll take a little bit of time to do, but you know, that's all right. We've got the time here, haven't we? And we can just make it look all nice and pretty. But that's how the ground floor is going to look. That is how the second floor is going to look. Coming up to the second floor, we're going to do the same thing here. We're adding our layer of birchwood planks, then starting from going to left to right. Now, I'm not adding the birchwood planks in because I don't need to. I'm doing 2 quartz, then 3 quartz for the middle window, 2 quartz for the end window. Then I'm going to add the glass on top. Remember, it's the same thing that we've just done down below, and it's the same thing if you look all the way over at the opposite side of the house, and I can do that now. It's the same thing that we have on the opposite side of the house, and then we can come all the way up to the top here, and for the attic layer, we just want to add a layer of birchwood planks. Then a layer of 5 block of quartz right in the center of the second row. Then a layer of 3 white stained glass on top of the quartz. Then a single glass right at the top. And that is how the windows look, and that is how the very top of the house looks. I am actually going to fill this in. I think I'm just going to fill this in. I'm going to make this look all nice. But yeah, I may as well. Why not? Why don't I just fill this in as I should do? The reason that I did that a little bit quickly is because we've already done it once before, and I'm sure that you guys can very, very easily figure out what you've got to do back here. Once you've done it once, it's pretty much a doddle to do the... Oh, we accidentally placed another stair. It's a pretty easy doddle to do everything that you've done once before. So that's the back of the house. That's how it looks. Coming onto the side of the house. Now, both sides of the house are not different, by the way, so it does matter which side you start on. Start on the left-hand side of the house. On the left-hand side of the house, it's quite simple. First of all, right at the ground floor of the house, we're going to stack another layer of birchwood planks. But to place the windows, it's quite easy, and you might even expect this pattern. So on top of the second row of this, on the left-hand side, going from left to right, we want to do 1 birchwood plank, 2 quartz, 1 plank, 2 quartz, 1 plank, 2 quartz, 1 plank, 2 quartz, 1 plank. Easy as that. And then on top of the quartz, you guys know the drill. It's going to be glass. It's going to be 2 layers of it, in fact. And we can destroy that middle block there. And then on top of the 2 layers of glass, of course, we want to have the 2 layers of quartz. And then we then want to fill the rest of the area in here. We may as well fill it in. I'm going to fill it in with you guys. You then want to fill the rest of the area in here with birchwood planks, like that. And then we just want to fill the bottom layer of the windows in with upside down quartz stairs. Then moving up to the second level, it's the same thing here. We'll just lay a foundation of birchwood planks. It'll take a second. And then starting from the right hand side, because it doesn't matter, we have 1 plank, 2 quartz, 1 plank, 2 quartz, 1 plank, 2 quartz, so on and so forth until you reach the opposite side. And then, of course, on top of the quartz, we're going to stack 2 layers of glass. That'll take a moment or two. We'll just stack our 2 layers of glass. And then the quartz on top of the glass. And then we'll stack birchwood planks going all the way around this. So we're just going to end up with the same thing that we have down below. But I will tell you that the opposite side of the house is very, very different to this side of the house. And then we can just place our quartz stairs in here. And that is just on the lower level. So that is what the left-hand side of your house looks like. Let's talk about the right-hand side of your house. So coming to the right hand side of your house now, the bottom level of this side of the house wants to be completely filled in with birchwood planks. That's all you want to do here. You just want to fill it in with birchwood planks. That's all you have to do. The ground floor, the reason that we're filling it in with planks is because there is a garage next to this side of the house. So there's no point in adding windows. It don't make any sense. So that's why this part is blank. However, the second level of this is just the same as the entire second floor of the house. We just have our layer of birchwood planks, and then we just have the quartz windows, and you guys know how it's spaced. It's like 2 quartz, 1 birch, 2 quartz, 1 birch, and you know what to do. On top of the quartz you place the glass, and on top of the glass you place another layer of glass, and on top of your 2 layers of glass you place a layer of quartz. So you guys know how that goes. It doesn't take too much figuring out to get this thing did, and we're just going to add all of this in here, and we're also going to, I cannot remember, you know, whether this side of the house, it does, okay, this side of the house also does have windowsills, so you can place your quartz stairs upside down here. I just had a look at my plans and I can just see out of the corner of my eye that that second floor does have windowsills, and that is what the house looks like at a base without the roof. Once each one of the 4 walls of the house are taken care of, let's talk about the roof. The roof's so easy. The roof starts right at the top of the house. It starts right where we have this first layer of quartz, and we just want to place stairs coming all the way up the side of each one of the sides of the house. So on the left and right hand side, we just want to start off with a layer of quartz stairs on the left and right hand side like that. The layer of quartz stairs wants to overhang the front and the back of the house by 1 layer with your quartz stairs. Just wants to overhang the front and back of the house by 1 layer with your quartz stairs. This will take a second or 2 to do. I'm just adding this all in here. The overhanging layer of stairs wants to have upside down stairs, and this applies to the top as well, wants to have upside down stairs underneath them, so it has a nice little fancy pattern like this. And of course, we not only want to have this on the front, but we also want to have this on the back. And then once we've done the overhanging parts of the roof, we will then connect them together, like front to back, because this is the hard bit. And once the hard bit's done, we can just have a nice bit of a relax, and we can see how the roof will actually look from here, and then we can just connect it together. And it's a pretty relaxing experience, actually, like building roofs. It can be a little frustrating placing the stairs, because of course you've got to be a little bit dead on, otherwise you have upside down stairs and you have weird facing things. They really do make a mess with the stairs in Minecraft. I wish they placed a little bit smarter, but hey, what can you do? Maybe I'm the problem. Maybe it's not Minecraft, maybe I'm the problem. Have I ever thought about that? Yeah, probably. I just did now. So we just want to have something which should look a little bit like that, and that looks quite nice, doesn't it? That's wonderful. And that's the front of the house, that's the back of the house. What we can now do is, of course, we can just connect them together, front to back, and see, easy to place them upside down. And once we've connected them together front to back, we're just going to connect them together right at the very top. Right at the top of the house, right at the very tip top, we're going to add a layer of slabs. We're going to add quartz slabs. And that's just going to make the top of the house look pointier. It's going to give it a better shape, and it's just going to make it just a bit more appealing to look at, really, is the main function of this. It's just going to make it look a bit nicer. And once we've got the roof taken care of, what we're then going to do is the garage. Yeah, we'll do the garage after this, because I think it's going to be easier to do the garage before the porch. And once we've got the garage taken care of, we'll take care of the porch, and then that'll probably be the tutorial wrapped up, because of course I don't want to do too much to the outside of the house or too much to the inside of the house, because of course I'd love you guys to come back and watch the video that I may potentially be making for the inside and outside of the house. So obviously I don't want to make half of the outside and then make the rest of it on video, although I might do a little bit of a teaser. I might show you what you might want to do to the outside of the house, and I might use the original version for that. So as you can see, we've built up the big large parts of the roof. I'm now just going to add a singular strip of quartz slabs running all the way across the top part of the roof here. So we just want to have something which should look a little bit like that. Isn't that nice? Isn't that lovely? There you go. That's how the house ends up. So once you've got the house taken care of, and it still looks a little unremarkable at this point, actually. It looks so much better once you've got a little bit surrounding it. Once you've got that taken care of, we now want to do the garage. The garage is so simple. Come to the right hand side of the house. You guys know which side the garage is on. You want to be in line with the second row of the house, which is where the cobblestone stairs starts, and going right of this, like, first row of cobblestone, we want to do a row of 5 blocks of quartz coming up from the ground. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We then want to go right by, bear with me, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We want to go right by 8, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then we want to connect that 8th block down to the ground. Then starting from this second block at the top, coming in from the right by 1, so this block right here, we want to place a quartz. We then want to do 3 up left diagonals, that's 1, 2, 3, and then we want to do bottom left diagonals until we connect down to the opposite side of the garage. So it wants to look like this, a big giant A shape. Now what we want to do is this. So we want to fill the lower half of the garage in like this. We want to first of all do kind of like an upside down U shape, kind of like an N shape, a lowercase n shape inside of the bottom part of the garage. We then, at the bottom of the garage, starting from the left hand side here, we want to do 2 quartz, then an upside down quartz stairs facing towards us. I said upside down, if you wouldn't mind, there we go, then 2 quartz going right. On top of that, a layer of birch. On top of that, a layer of quartz to give us this. Then in the space right at the top here, we want to do a layer of birchwood planks underneath the top part of the roof here, and then we want to do white stained glass block everywhere else, and that is the front of the garage. What we can then do is we can then take the back. Well, you only really have to do that. Yeah, do it to take the 2 top back corners of the garage and extend them coming towards the back of the house until they are in a line with like the second row inwards. So like where we have this row of cobblestone stairs here, it'll be easier to do this. We come up by 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, just as we did on the front, and then we can connect this block all the way over to the left here, and then we can connect this 5th block going down, and then we can also connect this other corner as well. That would have been a faster and easier way to do it, but you guys know I'm not always fast and easy. So what we then want to do is, of course, the roof part for the back of the garage, and that will start on top of the second block. We want to go up by 1. 3 upright diagonals, that'll be 1, 2, and 3. And then we want to do bottom right diagonals until we hit the opposite side here. And then what we want to do is we just want to fill the back part of the garage. The back top window wants to be completely birchwood planks. I don't want anything in there. And for the very back of the garage, I also just want birchwood planks. For the side of the garage, can you guys guess? I just want birchwood planks. It's only the front of the garage that I want any sort of pattern on or anything like that. I don't really want the back of the garage to be identical to the front. So I figure, hey, why not just leave it plain? Why not? It doesn't matter anyway, it's just a little bit of a garage. Now, once the garage shape has been taken care of, we have to give it a roof. So the garage roof is identical to the roof that we have for the house actually. And you guys know how to do this. It's just layers of stairs like this on top of the outer part of the roof, and then we just want to have the overhanging layer of quartz stairs like this, and then we just want to do the upside down stairs underneath the overhanging layer of the roof. You guys know how this looks. There we go, wonderful. It's so hard to place that last quartz stair, trust me. Oh, we have to do the side as well, don't we? Here, 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 and here. And yeah, we want to have that, and of course we'll have the layer of slabs on top. Let's go to the other side and let's see if we can get the hard part of the roof done, and then we'll do the easy part of the roof where we can just have a nice little bit of a chat, because of course, oh, we still have the porch to do. I'm so silly. I was going to say, of course, once this is done, then everything's done, but that is just incorrect, because we do still have the porch to do. The porch is actually easy. The porch probably takes less time than the garage, to tell you guys the truth. Comment. I just want to get this. Ah, cool. We got the first. Okay. So we got the very first quartz stair done, which is much harder than the rest of them. So we're just going to add all of these. There we go. And then we've got boom, 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 boom. Perfect. And now all we have to do is, of course, connect either side of the roofs together, the front and back part of the roofs together, and then we can move on. Then we can do the porch as I keep describing, or as I keep saying. I'm not describing that we're doing the porch. I haven't described the porch at all, actually. Although I have said that it is easy, which is very true. The porch is easy to do. I love the porch. The porch looks so nice. I think that the porch looks really cool, and I think that it's one of the main reasons why I like the house, because the porch gives contrast to the house. The only problem with these houses sometimes is that because they are only rarely 2 colors, it can be a bit overwhelming. It can be a little bit too bright, but the porch definitely takes the shine off it a little bit, and I think that that's why I like the little bit of the mound that the house sits on as well. But there you go, there's the garage. As you can see, the garage makes the house look quite nice, the porch is going to make it look even better. Once you've got the garage taken care of, let's talk about the porch. So, we want to come to the very front of the house, and we want to take the top 2 corners of the little andesite mound that the house sits on, and we want to extend those corners towards us each by 4. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, and it wants to be 1, 2, 3, 4. Connect each one of those 4 blocks together. It'll take a second. Connect them to the ground. Like this. We then want to fill in the lower part of this with cobblestone stairs, regular facing cobblestone stairs, and we want to do the, just obviously the layer on top of it, it wants to be upside down cobblestone stairs. And this is just, once again, the little mound that the house sits on. It's the same concept here, except of course it's a porch, so it looks a little bit like that. And you know what, a material that we're not going to be needing, I doubt we'll need the birch wood planks again, so we're just going to grab some regular cobblestone if we can find it. There we go. And we're just going to fill the top of the porch in with cobblestone. So we're just going to fill this in with cobblestone and it'll look quite nice. I quite like it. I almost used birchwood planks for this, but I tried to move away from birchwood planks for anything to do with the porch. Just to keep the contrast looking quite good. So that is like the main part of the porch. You know what, whilst we're here we can, in front of the house, you can see how it lines up the porch, like where the entrance to the house is. Knock out the andesite, place a stone brick stairs in front of this, then taper the stone brick stairs coming down in front of the house. Place polished andesite left and right of those stone brick stairs, and also fill the center of that shape in with andesite. And you can also destroy where if you see a shadow like behind these stone brick stairs or behind the andesite, destroy them, replace them with andesite, and that will get rid of the shadow. What we now want to do is we want to take each one of the 2 front corners of the porch, we don't have to do it for the back corners, take the 2 front corners of the porch and raise rows of, I do believe that it is rows of 7 block of quartz, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The important thing is that they line up with the center part of the house and they connect together. So easily so, you can take like the very center end corners of the house and we can extend them out by 4 with the quartz. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we can connect them down like this. And we can also connect them together like this. And then we want to go around the outside of the top of the porch with our quartz stairs. So we can go around the outside of the top of the porch with the quartz stairs like this. And then we want to do quartz slabs on top of the quartz, and then you can do quartz all the way around the inside of this. So just at the top, underneath the windows, of course, you just want to fill the top of this in with quartz. And if you like, and you know what, we'll talk about this after we've placed the fence, because then we can get rid of all our stuff. Once you've placed the roof of the porch, you then just want to take out your birchwood fence, and you just want to go around the edge of the top of the porch, and you just want to fill it in with fence, and it makes it just look a little bit nicer, because it adds another colour to the porch, it brings it back to the house, and it looks quite nice. You might see that the lower half of the house is a little bit dark, it's a little bit covered by the porch. So what we can do is we can build in some glowstone to the edge of the porch, and it's actually quite simple. We just want to add a layer of glowstone. You can do this any way you want, but I kind of like this like U shape of glowstone like this, and that just lights it up a little bit. Or I think if we add another layer here, just like right at the top front part of the house, I think that takes it off a little bit as well. Oh no, it doesn't really, but when we light up the inside of the house, it definitely does, and we can then just fill the center of that in with block of quartz, or we can just leave that alone. I think that just looks kind of nice, to be honest with you. But that's the house. That is the house pretty much built. It looks very, very nice, in my opinion, and it's quite easy to make. If you want to learn how to make the outside part of the house, which I think improves it drastically. Like, this looks good, in my opinion, but it looks so much better with the outside part of the house. You know what? Let me show you. Instead of me talking about it, this is a tutorial portion of the server web. I hope that you guys managed to make it, but let me show you the other part of the house. So this is the house with the outside done a little bit. I've not fully completed the outside yet. Trust me, I haven't fully completed the outside yet, but the front part of it is done at the very least. As you can see, with the front outside part of the house, we have a driveway. I put a car in it, kind of like a classic looking-ish sports car. I know it doesn't look that sporty, but you know, you can only go so far. We have a tree, we have a fence, we have a few layers of flowers, we have a little bit of a path going all the way around. You can see it continues towards the back. I haven't done the back part yet, but I can tell you that I'm going to extend out the back of this, and I'm going to add maybe like a pool, maybe some more trees, maybe some more flower beds. I'm going to add some cool stuff back here. Probably won't even add a pool, to be honest with you guys. I might just add a couple of trees and might add a couple of flower beds and stuff. I don't want to make the back garden incredibly massive because it's not a massive feature on this house, because there's not even a back door. And there's nothing going on the right hand side of the house other than a bit of a tree. And yeah, you can see how the outside part of the house and the whole house in general has had its appeal bumped up quite a few points just by adding a really cool looking outside. I think that car really does it for me. And the inside of the house hasn't been designed yet, but I'm definitely going to be working on it. I'm going to be working on the inside of the house, and I think I can probably, hopefully, manage to do something quite cool. And I'm going to be doing the second floor and the attic. If you guys want it, if you guys want a tutorial for all of that stuff, the tutorial will include the inside and the outside, but you'll have to let me know on that one. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed this tutorial. If you have, if you've managed to make it, I'd really appreciate it if you could give this video a like, a favourite, a share, anything you'd feel like doing to help me out. I'd honestly really appreciate it. I really would. I'd love it if you guys could do any of that or all of that for me. Thank you, please. Subscribe if you haven't already. I don't know if you've been checking out my tutorial world and if you've been checking out my current creative world, which is this one right here, but I have quite a bit to offer on the channel. Not only do we make suburban houses, but over there is the beginnings of a fire station. Over there, believe it or not, is a shark head house. Over there in the background is a giant prison with a prison bus. We have an ice cream van. We have Black Panther. We have a Spider-Man house over there, believe it or not. We have quite a bit on this channel. We do a lot around here. To say the very least, we do quite a bit around here. So hopefully you guys will want to stick around and subscribe. Comment down below. Do you want to see me do the inside and the outside of this house? Do you want to see me do anything else? Do you have some more requests for houses? I love the Suburban House series, and I would definitely be interested in doing some more. I think I have some more ideas for suburban houses. I don't think I've used all of my ideas just yet, so you'll have to let me know. Check out the card system. Check out the real world building playlist if you want to make some really cool houses and some really cool realistic stuff, but also check out the Suburban House playlist because that'll have loads of stuff that's a little bit like this in it. Thank you very much for watching. Like, favourite, share if you wouldn't mind, subscribe if you haven't already, comment down below, check out the card system. I'll see you guys in the next video.